This is the Meta 1 month overview reading for the month of May 2023. It's currently April 10th, 2023, 6:29 p.m. Eastern Time. Meta at the time of this reading in the extended hours, currently $214.53, that's USD. And the shuffle file that we're about to play for the May 1 month overview reading was created on April 4th, 2023 at 10:12 p.m. Eastern Time. That's this file right here. So the overall theme and behavior for May, we have a rally along a diagonal trend line that breaks down with a fast sudden move higher, and then a decline through that diagonal trend line with increasing volatility on the way down. Senate might be highlighted. Something to do with Senate might be highlighted, but there's like a pop and drop or a holding pattern with a pop and drop. Either that or Senate is highlighted. Behavior around the highest high, we have kind of like a triangular chart pattern where we have a prominent move higher standing out on the 1 month chart, and then it's followed by a full retracement of that move higher, full retracement back down to where the move higher started, making like a triangular kind of peak for a high. Behavior around the lowest low, we have bullish price swings around the lows. It may also indicate that we see two lows. Picking up on possibly two lows. But in any case, let's take a look at March. Wasn't the best reading. My March readings, I tried something new with some of the reverse clariform anchors. It really didn't pan out well. So March, a lot of my March readings weren't that great. I had quite a few that I nailed, but there's a few where like what I tried new just didn't hold up. I should have seen here. I should have seen this was obviously the highest high. Looking at it now is obviously the highest high. This was very easily like determined. It could have been determined to be a lowest low. Another highest high here. But what we did get right, quite a few things. Like. First off, there's a higher price level in March than there was in May already. That's held true. And I think probably the theme of these multiple failed attempts to break through key resistance, that's this resistance here, at the end of which we had these price swings, bullish price swings. Interesting. And that's the low for May. Well, my point being is that what I think happens when I look at the 1 year, we've got the Two of Swords in March. April, we've got the Four of Swords, which is like probably the same price level as the Two of Swords. And then the Six of Swords, which is kind of like carry it over so throughout the entire month of April, towards the earlier part even. And it's an important price level on a multi-year scale probably, or on at least a 1 year scale, probably a multi-year scale. I think it's the same price level. And so far it kind of looks like that. You can see we have like sideways kind of sideways behavior going on here in early April. So I think that's probably where we're at there. And then there's the decline off of the April high offers an opportunity to open up a long position, which I'll talk much more about in the paid version. Guys, if you're interested in the paid version, the way that you get the paid version, you go to our website, tarotfortraders.com, click on the Eso-Meta tab. Our services tab, excuse me, and then click on Eso-Meta under our services. Eso-Meta forecast. And then right here in monthly predictions, click here to order May predictions, and then you pick whichever one from the drop down that we're offering for May. It's a great way to support the channel. Much appreciated to all of those of you that do that. And back to what we were back to the May prediction here. So on the first, we have a breakout that'll stand out on a 1 month chart. There's a trade opportunity, which we'll talk about in the paid version. A crest on the second, a prominent crest on the second, at a resistance level that we failed to break through many times before. Then there's just notable decline and a prominent trough on the 3rd in the midst of quite a lot of price change. Looks like it's to the downside. A big move, price change on the 3rd to the downside, to a prominent trough on the cusp of the 3rd and the 4th. But there's a bit of a rally there. We have a crest, an overbought crest or peak on the 4th that we sell off from, and then a notable reversal on the 5th in the midst of a rally along a diagonal trend line that breaks down with a fast sudden move higher, and then a breakdown through that diagonal trend line. So we go from bullish to bearish on the 5th. Most likely location of the highest high there on the 5th as well. We gap down over the weekend on the 8th. There's a fake out, shakeout, or intentional misdirection utilizing technical analysis, like they falsely trigger an indicator or something. It's a tricky day, so be careful. But there's a gap down over the weekend, and then probably a fast sudden move higher throughout the day at some point on the 8th that offers, like, that's the fake out. On the 9th, we have an important resistance level that's highlighted. A lot of price change, most likely. There's probably a pop and drop, so we'll be rotating sideways, and then there'll be like a pop and drop. And there's an important trough, or a prominent trough on a 1-month scale that stands out there, either on the 9th or at the beginning of the day on the 10th, or both. It's possible. Trade opportunity there on the 9th that we'll talk about in more detail in the paid version. On the 10th, we have sideways fluidity, equal amounts of bulls and bears, inflow and outflow, moving sideways along key support. Sometimes it's a narrow price range. Sometimes it's like wide swings. But on the 11th, the sideways rotation or sideways swinging out of a trough there in the morning of the 10th will lead to a sideways fluctuating rally on the 11th that precedes a decline. Notable move higher at midday on the 11th, and then looks like we have another trough at the end of the day on the 12th that's highlighted in the midst of the establishment of support along a multi-day scale. Over the weekend, we gap higher, and then there's a sideways S formation in the midst of a decline there on the 15th. We decline from resistance to support, reverse, go all the way back to resistance, reverse, go all the way back to support. Midday crest, like near overbought crest that we sell off from, and then like towards the cusp, we start moving to the upside again at the end of the day there on the 15th, and then on the 16th early in the day there's a breakout, and important resistance levels highlighted on the 16th, and a lot of price change. A lot of the time what I'm seeing with the Princess of Swords, it's coming out to one of those candlesticks that's like a long candlestick, and it's got like a wick, like a decent wick at either end, at both ends I should say, so like there's a lot of movement in both directions, a lot of volatility. Looks like there's a trade opportunity on the 17th in the midst of a crest in the late morning session. Bumping along resistance. Likely we gap down there overnight onto the 18th. And out of a lowest low, there's a rally that ends at the end of the day, giving another opportunity there, which we'll talk about in the paid version. On the 19th, multiple failed attempts to break through key resistance. On the 22nd, it looks like we probably have a new local high, not a highest high, but a new local high there after forming that low around the 18th. And that new local high will form when we break through resistance. We stay above it briefly, and then we break back down through the same price level shortly thereafter, taking us into another prominent trough or low. This might be the second place that we see a lowest low here on the 23rd. probably see another lowest low here on the 23rd. So I'm just going to mark that in. Highest probable location is here on the 18th, but there is probability of us revisiting it here on the 23rd. A lot of price change usually with the Princess of Discs and sideways rotation. A key support level on a multi-day scale will be highlighted. Day trade opportunity on the 24th, we'll talk about in the paid version. Significant move to the upside on the 25th. We have a decline that increases with momentum moving forward in time. Day trade there as well. On the 26th, we have a crest towards the late morning session at a key resistance level on a multi-day scale, at least on a 1 month scale. And then after a sudden move higher in the morning, looks like we end the day lower on the 26th. There's a day trade opportunity on the 26th as well as a day trade opportunity on the 30th. So likely we have a prominent crest early in the morning on the 30th, and we decline pretty notably in the morning. That offers an opportunity, that decline offers an opportunity, I'll talk about in the paid version in more detail. And there's a day trade opportunity. There's enough price change on the 30th for a day trade. And then on the 31st, we have sideways rotational on key support, rising to meet the nearest critical resistance on a 1 month scale, and then declining back down to continue rotating sideways along key support on a 1 month scale. Sneak preview for the following month, we have a period of sideways rotational on key support. Looks like we probably start out at that key support on the 31st, but we have a period of sideways rotational on key support that offers a trade opportunity before a notable move, looks like to the upper end of a range, a significant move on a 1 month scale there. That's May for 2023. Let me know what you think by hitting that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Most importantly, my friends, make sure to follow that rule of karma. You do so here at our resources tab on the website Tarot for Traders. 5% of the profits, send them back to the channel. 5% to Cash App or PayPal. Much appreciated, my friends. And then 5% forward for all the angel investors out there following the rule of karma. 5% forward to one of these charities. Make sure that you spend that 90% left over out of love. As long as you do that, the universe is going to send it back to you tenfold in all directions. I'll see you on the next one, my friends. Stay tuned if you got the paid version.